Yeah, welcome to Pax Europiana, this time here from Linz. I'm walking and talking you through this amazing city, and it's really like a boom town. Absolutely, it has changed in the last years, because here especially this is the federal administration, and you see it's really dramatically improved the whole area, because it was very poor. When I grew up here in Upper Austria, in Linz, it was a tough steel town, and it was really very poor actually, and far from this wealth which you can see at display now here, expensive real estate and all this development. And it has really dramatically changed and improved, obviously. Why? Because we are now in the heart of Europe. We are in the industrial hub of Central Europe, logistically, and also because of much more people living here. And that's very important. Unfortunately, the last years there was some kind of xenophobic trend here in Austria, especially under Sebastian Kurz, and everything was about closing out the Europeans. Yeah? That was very deeply problematic, and I hope this is now over, because the big strategic mistakes of the last 10 years were the end of EU enlargement since Croatia 2013, and the blocking of the labor market, and the pro-Russian pivot of taking all the money for party financing, buying all this Russian energy, and having xenophobic protectionist tendencies, especially the hatred already which many in the leading government circles have against free trade agreements, is very damaging. Their spite against CETA, against TTIP, against Mercosur has brought us in a big crisis. The hatred for labor market opening was of course very destructive, and also the pleasure with which they were taking Russian bribes and trying, while talking about climate change, they were always bringing more and more taking money, they were bringing more energy from Russia, because that was the easy way, more Russian energy and less Brazilian agriculture and less American trade. That was the consensus of the completely misguided foreign and European and trade policy of the last years, and also on tax they were wrong. Yeah? Because everything I said, they rejected, but they invented their own protectionist, populist, xenophobic ideology. I don't know where it came from Trump, Putin, somehow in that direction, but it had nothing to do with Christian democracy or with liberal values or with conservative ideology, nothing to do with Ronald Reagan, Maggie Thatcher, or with any of the good guys in the world which we were growing up. I don't know, it was very unfortunate where all this came from, and it was a big disaster, this anti-Americanism, anti-Semitic, anti-capitalist, anti-trade, anti-reason, anti-rationality. And the result is, of course, you know, that we have the situation as we have it, yeah? Inflation and exclusion and this xenophobic consensus. And Austria is still a nice country and it's still booming. But imagine how rich we could be in case, and how much better the whole of Europe would be if they had listened to reason and not succumbed to this temptation of fast populist vote catching by fighting against Mercosur, against TTIP, against labor market opening, against lower taxation. That is the tragedy of the last years, and this is exactly the completely wrong foreign policy, European policy, tax policy, trade policy, migration policy of the last 10 years. And I really hope that the better times will come now, and Linz, which is already a very nice city, hello Linz, but I hope there will be this new consensus gradually developing. I was reading yesterday that on trade, now after Macron being re-elected, there's good chance for Mercosur to be adopted for the other agreements with Mexico and Chile to be adopted, and also hopefully for Australia, New Zealand, and of course the French have this hatred against New Australia because the corrupt submarine deal was going down. But let's see if now the visit of Modi from India in Germany and Ursula von der Leyen's visit in India has made a breakthrough on the Indian relation, and of course that we have blocked trade with Indonesia and Malaysia on palm oil. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous, yeah. But that is how ridiculous the foreign policy, trade policy, migration policy has been in the last 20 years, and that's exactly the result. We are in this mess today because of our complete rejection of openness. Openness in terms of NATO, EU, Euro enlargement, CEFTA enlargement, of free trade agreements, and this anti-capitalist, protectionist, anti-American, anti-Semitic kind of consensus of the last 10 years, of the years of Merkel and of Kurz. This is exactly the problem we face in Europe, and we have to overcome it. And we will be a much better continent once Ukraine is in the EU, and once we have defeated the Paris protectionists. They are responsible for much of this failure of the last decade, and they have to pay the price. Yeah, we have to squeeze the protectionists, xenophobes, anti-Americans. Yeah, we have to punish them hard. That's the only way. And these places like Linz, and there are many cities in this dimension in Europe, and they will be much richer, much more open, much more prosperous places. And that's all possible if we unite Europe, include Ukraine, the Balkans, and also fight the protectionists, xenophobes, anti-Semites, anti-capitalists in all parties, because they are in all parties. And that's the situation. Good. Yes, I have reached my aim here. A lot of things happening at the same time, but that was my good morning video here from Pax Europiana, from my hometown Linz, which is a very nice place. But imagine how nice it could be if there would be better European and Austrian economics in this town and in Austria, Vienna and Brussels. And I devote my time and my effort to change the disastrous policies of the last 10 years back to openness and to decent Austrian liberal economics and serious containment of Russian aggression and victory in Ukraine. And it's all connected, obviously. And after the horrors of the Ukraine war will be over and victory will be achieved, there will be hopefully also much different and better economics as a result. I'm confident for that. So more to come from Pax Europiana. Bye for now from Linz. Bye.